And RPA, it's a technology that it's needed and is going to be needed for probably at least 10 more years from now. So from my opinion, it's not a dying technology, and it's a required technology. And it's required for when you need to automate or to bridge the gap between systems that do not have APIs. But the problem with RPA, and that's perhaps one of the reasons for which people are saying RPA is dead, which is not, is the fact that RPA is hard to manage. It's brittle. It requires a lot of maintenance. So whenever Windows, for example, has an update, many RPA flows are breaking. Whenever the user interface of the software that the RPA is integrating is changing, the RPA is breaking. And you need an army of people to manage those, to update the flows, to maintain the flows, and so on. And then another problem is that it fundamentally runs on the machine. It can run on the VM or it can run on your user machine. So what does that mean? It means that in order to scale it, is not going to be easy. It's going to be complex. You need to orchestrate a lot of bots. That's why you have the orchestrator from UiPath, and other RPA companies have orchestrators as well, because you need to orchestrate all that complexity. But when you have this complexity and you have complex flows to manage, that's another level of headache, and it's hardly manageable. So where does Procesio fit in all this? Like for us, RPA is an API. So whenever we have the need to connect to a system that doesn't have APIs, doesn't have direct connection to data, doesn't have the ability to export the data and put it in a storage environment, then we would use RPA on top of that particular gap and use the RPA as an API endpoint for that particular need, and use it within a bigger complex process, which we are orchestrating.